In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Visual Studio Code to connect to an instance of Power BI Desktop to issue queries. Here, I have a copy of a model open in Power BI Desktop. So, step one is to create a blank folder for your new Visual Studio project folder. I have a folder on my C drive called VS Code, and I'm going to create a new folder called Query Tool. You can name it what you like. Then I'm going to open VS Code and open that folder. File, open folder, Query Tool. This creates a blank project. Now, from the terminal window, I can create the shell project needed to add the code. So to do that, we're going to type .NET new console. This will only work if you have previously installed the .NET SDK. We run this, and you'll see that it's creating a program.cs, which is fantastic. But now we need to add the client library that'll allow us to issue queries against the model. So what we can do is open a browser and browse to the NuGet client library, NuGet repository manager, and we can see here that this is the package that I would like to install into my project. I'm going to click .NET CLI, copy that to my buffer, and then just go back to the terminal in Visual Studio Code and paste that in. And you'll see that this should successfully install the package libraries required for this project. That's completed. So now I'm going to open program.cs. We're going to see some more information in the output window. And if we make this a little larger, cool. Now you may see a dialog pop up in the bottom right hand corner. If that does, click yes. We can run this now before doing anything and just check that we do see a hello world in the debug line. And I've just said that we're going to run this in the .NET Core. Here's the dialog I was talking about. So let's add this configuration and try and run that again. Here we go. Hello world. So now we have successfully created our shell project that we can use to run our own code. Now you can copy and paste this directly from the blog article. What I'm going to do is replace all the lines with the code. And if we scroll up and down, this should look exactly like what you saw in the window here. Now it's really important that we select the right port number for Power BI Desktop, which will probably be different to this. So let's now jump back to Power BI, and I'm going to open my external tools and open DAX Studio. And DAX Studio is going to tell me the port number that this instance of Power BI Desktop is currently running on. Down in the bottom corner here, I can see that it is on 50455. So if I jump back to my code and type that in there, 50455, what I can do now is run the code, and I'll go through at the end what it's doing. And here we go. The output is it's running a query, and here we can see the output presented to the screen. If we close this away and have a look, first of all we define the connection, and it's really important that you get that port number. The next step is to specify what our query is going to be. Now the C# syntax of using @ in front of the quote allows us to use multi-lines, but with using this technique you do need to make sure that single quotes are replaced with double quotes. This is the escape character for quotes, and you can see that's used in a number of places. We then create a command. Now this ADOMD command uses the query defined in this string and the connection defined at this step. We need to open the connection, and then the results of the query will get stored into this object called an ADOMD data reader, which I'll abbreviate down to my own variable name, reader. We will iterate through the reader. Now this will iterate through one line per row. And then once we're inside each row, what we're going to do is run across each column. So this is an inner loop. And then for every single inner column number, and this will dynamically adjust to however many columns are being returned by the relevant query, it will write out the results. And finally what we do is we just close the connection and exit. So it's as simple as that. If you run into any issues, it may mean you just haven't installed the .NET Cons SDK, and you may need to look at my earlier blog to find that detail. But otherwise, hopefully this format is useful to you, and please let me know if you would like me to do videos like this in future. Thank you.